Welcome back to another transformative episode of The Pivotal Point with Dwayne Barnes, the space where real conversations spark real change. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful forces you can cultivate: unstoppable confidence. Confidence isn't just about how you look or how loud you speak. It's about the deep, steady belief in who you truly are. Joining me is a very special guest, Prema Saraswati, a certified hypnotherapist, NLP master practitioner, and transformational teacher with over 12 years of experience helping people unlock the confidence they were born with. Now, Prema's personal journey of overcoming trauma, abuse, and low self-esteem gives her a rare insight into what it really takes to not just survive, but to thrive. Her Gain Unstoppable Confidence movement is helping people everywhere step into a life of deeper love, leadership, and limitless possibility. I was blessed to do a session with her, and I was blown away by the mental and emotional shift that it brought to me, and I just wanted to share it with you, the listener. So whether you're battling self-doubt, stuck in fear, or simply ready to level up your life, this conversation will shift something in you. Let's get into it. We want to welcome Ms. Prema Saraswati to the Pivotal Point with Dwayne Barnes. Welcome, Prema.
Dwayne, thank you so much for this opportunity to be on your show. I am honored to be here.
And I am honored to have you. You know what got you here? When I read your ad and it said, if you don't get anything out of this, I will give you your money back.
That's right.
Yeah, so when I read that, it stopped me because I said the audacity I felt, the confidence of that statement made me want to explore. And I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I didn't sign up for the course is because I thought it was in Joshua Tree. And at that time, I was dealing with, and I'm still fighting with my freeway stress. And so my spirit was just like, well, still email her and connect with her. And I'm so glad I did it because, y'all, I had a session with her, and afterwards, I felt so balanced. I felt grounded. I felt clear and hopeful and confident. And I honestly felt like there was nothing that I couldn't do after that session with you.
That is so
And
wonderful to hear. And I am so happy that you reached out to me because I truly just respect what you do, love your energy, love everything about you. I'm very grateful to be here with you and really grateful that you are you.
yes, well, thank you, y'all. I mean, her sessions, I'm telling you, I just felt loved. I felt like I was in a safe, loving presence, and I felt like I was just cradled in like a mother's arm or whatever. And every time she spoke, the way she listened, I just felt like I was in good hands. And honestly, even before the session started, I felt like I was already healed just by sitting in her presence, y'all.
Oh,
Yes,
that is so amazing. I'm really happy to hear that, Dwayne.
that's my truth. That's my truth. So before we get started, let our listeners know, who is Prema? Where is she from? What got you to this place?
Okay. That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked. I'll try to give you the shorter version. So, a little bit facts about me. I'm 53 years old. I live out in Joshua Tree with my husband. I have a 29-year-old. I came from a family of 15 children. 11 of us are alive. And most of my family are in Sacramento. Now I'll give you the background. So my journey to who I am today and me doing healing work and helping others to heal is through three major challenges that heavily influenced the direction of my life and also called for me to do a lot of deep healing. So the first challenge is my background and how I came to the US. So I am Hmong, and that spells Hmong. We're from Laos. My family and I survived the communist genocide in the 1970s. We survived, and we saw a lot of deaths, just a lot of suffering, going through war, being shot at, through all sorts of ways that the communists can. And so we're very fortunate to survive that, and even more fortunate to be sponsored to the US as refugees. And so that's the first major trauma, is going through the war, surviving the war.
Oh, wow. You survived a war. That is super, super traumatic. And it is super, super inspiring that you got to this place where you're such a vessel of love in spite of all of that. That's amazing.
Thank you. And I also want to mention that we lost my 2-year-old brother to the poison gas that the communists dropped into the jungle.
Mm, 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 mm.
So we came to the States, and I spoke no English, and there was little help at that time. But I worked really hard, and within a few years, I became a straight A student, and then was the first one in my family to go to college on scholarships, grants, and student loans. And you would think that, yay, I got a master's degree from USC Film School. Yay, she made it. But oh no, I didn't make it. So that was the first challenge. The second challenge is my upbringing in my family, in my culture. So in our culture, like other cultures as well, girls were not valued as much as boys. So my 2 sisters and I took care of all the cooking, the cleaning, and the babysitting, and had little opportunity for extracurricular activities. So of course, with 11 living children and being on welfare, there was limited resources, little attention, and abuse was common in our household. So growing up in my home environment was hard. I cried myself to sleep many nights when I was a teenager. I always tell people my sisters escaped the environment by marrying out. I escaped by going to college. And so I thought I escaped, but I did not. So that brings me to challenge number 3. Studies have shown that girls who grew up in an abusive environment tend to marry into an abusive relationship. And that's exactly what happened to me. Even though I was college educated, I married an abusive man because I had such low self-esteem. I was with this abusive man for 8 years, and he is the father of my son. And here's a strange thing. Even though I was making all the money, I still could not leave him. And it wasn't until he started abusing my little boy that I had the courage to kick him out. Then I was a single parent with little support for 7 years until I married my second husband. So these 3 challenges were the biggest trauma creators in my life that haunted me and kept me stuck until the age 39. Can you believe it? I suffered for 39 years before finding a way to heal. I guess you could say I'm a slow learner.
Were you doing things to heal, or were you not really even on the track of healing at that place, at that time?
I was not. I was just on survival mode. making ends meet. I didn't have access to personal development, to, holistic healing. I was pretty much on my own, trying to figure it out the best way that I could.
Then what opened the door? What was your first healing or healing modality? What was the first thing that was presented to you as an opportunity to shift?
Thank you for asking. So what changed for me was in 2011, I took a Reiki class, still having no knowledge about energy. And that class changed me because it opened me up to possibilities. The spiritual world opened up to me. And then I was introduced to hypnotherapy and past life regression. And I could not get enough of them. So I did the only thing that I knew how. I went back to school. I attended the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, a college of hypnotherapy in Tarzana, California, graduated with honor, and began offering hypnotherapy to my community. And then I also began using hypnotherapy to heal myself from all the trauma.
This episode is brought to you by the Courage to Be Freedom Coaching. If you're ready to reclaim your voice, root into your truth, and start leading from the inside out, I'd love to work with you. Book a one-on-one session today at authordwaynebarnes.com. You don't have to lead alone. Let's walk this thing together. Wow. Now, let me ask you a question. So you went to film school. Like, what made you choose film school? I don't want to skate over that because, I'm a creative person. So I'm like, oh, my goodness, I didn't know that. Like, what made you, what led you there?
Yes, that's what we have in common is the creative and the film. So it had to do with me being a survivor of the communist genocide. When I was young, I just maybe had a lot of anger that we were marginalized, dismissed, disenfranchised. We were just minorities on welfare and nobody knew us. And I really wanted to let the world know that we are people too, and this is our story. We're not just some lowly, immigrant people that's just on welfare. We have cultures, we have, traditions. We are just as valuable and equal people too. So I went to film school in order to tell that story. So I can change people's perspective about my people and our background. One year of me doing hypnotherapy to heal gave me more results than I have gotten through all my life to that point. And before that, I was like going to seminars, just reading books, but never really have access to any type of real healing. So 1 year of doing hypnotherapy did so much for me. And not, seminars and books and everything else is great. I still go to seminars. I read books almost every night. All of these are great. All the healing modalities are great. To me, hypnotherapy has been the most powerful and still is the most powerful healing tool for me with all the trauma that I went through. And I can tell you that I am healed from all of that because I can talk about it without wanting to cry. I have forgiven the abusive acts. I have released the anger toward the CIA for involving our people in the war and then leaving us to be slaughtered by the communists. I had let go of that anger. I have forgiven, my family for the hurt unconditionally, only because I have healed from all that trauma.
Well, that makes sense. That's why I said I felt all of that love when I did the session with you. I felt that healing because
Thank
people,
you.
yeah, people feel that. People feel that healing. They feel that vibration frequency shift. And
I hope they do because it's for the longest time, it's been my goal to love people unconditionally. I'm not perfect, but that's what I strive for every day.
wow. Well, like I said, you didn't tell me to say what I said. I said that just on my own because that's exactly what I felt. I felt the love. I felt the support. I felt like you were seeing into me. It wasn't just a business. Like I felt like you were there to raise my vibration, and I really, really, I'll appreciate it for the rest of my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for saying that because that is the goal with every session, with every client. That is my personal goal.
Well, you did it with me. When did you feel like, okay, now is the time to
Yes,
share it with others?
yes. So I started out offering hypnotherapy with the intention of helping them to get rid of their biggest emotional pain, to heal their trauma. I had no intention of helping them with confidence because people did not come to me for confidence. Most of them came to me because they're hurting, they're stressed, they're anxious, they have fear, they have low confidence, they have low self-esteem, and they have trauma. And so by just helping my clients and as they're healing, what I realize is that they become more confident. And a light bulb went off and said, oh, just by helping them to heal, they become more confident. So cool. And it wasn't until last year that I was given the intuition to create a class to help people to gain confidence. And because I had all those years of experience, 12 years of experience, I had the confidence to do it because I already done it with my private clients. And of course, just because you got the intuition, it took a while for me to, put it together. So I had my first gain unstoppable confidence class at the beginning of this year.
Awesome. So you're saying that when someone heals from within, that's when the confidence shows up.
Yes, they become more confident as they heal from within.
And that I understand that. It's like when you start to heal the traumas, you begin to be fully whole. And we're meant to be fully whole. And when we're fully whole, that's when we operate in our greatness.
Exactly. And here's something else. Confidence, just as you said, Dwayne, we are all naturally confident. I don't make people more confident. When things are healed, their natural confidence show up. So confidence is not something, it's not like a mountain that you have to climb. It's removing all the junks so that your confidence can shine.
Now, what role does the subconscious mind play in building your true and lasting confidence?
Oh my.
That's a loaded one.
Yeah, this one is hard to answer in the short version, so I'll give you a more thorough version. It's important for us to understand how the mind is wired. So our mind is split into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, I want you to imagine you're looking at a picture of an iceberg. And tell me which part of the iceberg is bigger, the one atop or the one at the bottom, below the water?
I would assume that the one on top is.
When you're looking at the picture of an iceberg, what we see above the water is smaller than what we see below the water. So the piece below the water that we don't see, it's much bigger. And that's how our mind is. The conscious mind is the piece on top where we are aware of and we see. The piece below the water that we don't see unless you dive underneath, we don't see and we're not aware. That is the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is where you have logics, reasoning, analyzing, decision-making, and willpower. The subconscious mind is the hard drive in the computer. It's a storehouse. It stores all of your experiences. It is where your emotions, your beliefs are stored. It is also where your confidence is. And so the conscious mind, just like the iceberg, has 12% control over your behavior. The subconscious mind, the bottom of the iceberg, controls 88% of your behavior. And by the way, this percentage is very close to the iceberg percentage as well, above and below. So when you're trying to have confidence, that's using willpower, and that's 12%. When you work on confidence at the subconscious level, you are working with the 88%. And when you work at the subconscious level, you actually have more than 88% success. You have about 100% success. Because when you're working at the subconscious level, you're also using the conscious mind. So you're using the 12% with the 88%. That gives you about 100% success rate. That's why it's so important to work at the subconscious level, and confidence lives in the subconscious level.
That makes so much sense. So all of this external stuff that I do, and the affirmations. Does affirmations help the subconscious level like we say it does, or is that a myth?
Affirmation is beautiful, and I encourage anyone to do it. It does work. First of all, to say an affirmation makes you feel better. Secondly, you have to say enough time for it to get into the subconscious mind. And when it gets into the subconscious mind, then it becomes the 88%. So that's when it works. And the trick is to say enough time to get into the subconscious mind.
So your Gain Unstoppable Confidence classes, they blend hypnotherapy, guided meditation, and other practical tools. So explain to us, what is hypnosis and why? I mean, I already know it. I mean, I think you explained it. Why did you choose hypnotherapy as your main tool to help people gain confidence? Because many people don't even know what hypnosis is and how powerful it is for healing and personal growth. Can you just explain it to our listeners what hypnosis does?
Yes, and you're absolutely right. Hypnotherapy and hypnosis are not widely known. And it's also, there's a lot of misconceptions. So I'll tell you what hypnosis is. It's really simple. It's a natural state of awareness, a natural state of awareness that we all were born with, that we all have. It is the state between when you are awake and when you are asleep. It's that middle state. It's also the state where we call it the alpha brainwave and the theta brainwave. It is a state when you are daydreaming or when you are fantasizing. Hypnosis has been portrayed poorly in the media to be mind control and brainwashing, and you lose consciousness and somebody's going to take control over your body and make you do things you don't want to do. That's what it's been portrayed on the media, and those are absolutely false. Hypnosis, again, it's a natural state of awareness. It's not mind control. It's not brainwash, and you don't lose consciousness. You are actually aware and in control when you're in hypnosis. So have you ever driven down the freeway? and you miss an exit because your mind was thinking about something else. We all have done that.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you were already in hypnosis.
Mm.
Nobody crashed because we missed an exit. You were in control. And many of us go in and out of hypnosis every day, multiple times without us knowing it.
Mm.
It's just a natural state of awareness, but it is a very powerful state of awareness. Remember, I was telling about the iceberg, the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem with the conscious mind and subconscious mind in that diagram, the dynamic is that in the middle is the critical mind or the filtering that does not allow any one of us to enter the subconscious mind. So if you want to say have more confidence, and you say, I'm going to have confidence, I'm going to use willpower, I'm going to go and just speak up to somebody because I haven't been able to do it, so I'm going to go and speak up to my boss. And then you approach your boss and you chicken out because your decision to speak up to your boss did not go into the subconscious mind. It got kicked out by the filter.
Mm.
So it's really hard for us on our own to go into the subconscious mind to make those changes.
Mm.
So what hypnosis does and why it is so powerful is that hypnosis gives you the access to go into your subconscious mind where your programmings are stored, where you can get rid of any of the negative programming and you can create new programming. So in this scenario, you want to have the confidence to go and speak up to your boss. You create that confidence, that belief in yourself and the subconscious mind. And then you will have that confidence and it's easier for you to speak up to your boss. So hypnosis is powerful because it's a tool that lets you go make changes safely in the subconscious mind. And that's why I use hypnosis, because it is still the most powerful tool in my experience to directly help you to go into your subconscious mind and make the positive changes that you want to make so that you can do what you want to do. You can experience and feel what you want to feel and have the life that you want to have. It's very powerful.
Yes. Wow. So it allows you to get to that, what's under that iceberg, to
Yes.
reprogram those limiting beliefs. Okay. Okay. So what are some of the blocks that, I mean, I guess you just mentioned that people think they're going to mind control and somebody's going to take over your mind and this, that, and the other. And so I guess the only way through that is, how can people get through that limiting belief? Just, is there any way that you think someone can get through that limiting belief?
On their own, or
Yeah.
with, there are things that we can do on our own. Hypnotherapy is just going to be faster and more powerful. So somebody, say if somebody wants to have more confidence and they want to do it on their own, this is a tip that I give to my clients. I have my clients do this. Take a piece of paper and a pen, write down 30 things you like or appreciate about yourself. 30 things you like or appreciate about yourself. It's very simple,
Mm.
but many people have a really hard time with that. They can barely get to 5.
Wow. So writing,
And
okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
the only person who surpasses that very quickly is my good friend who's very confident in herself. She got to 100 within a short time because she's very confident. When you can get to 30, you will notice an immediate shift in your confidence level. It works.
Wow. So insecure people cannot think of good things about themselves for the most part.
They have never put themselves in a position to think about the strengths, to think about what's good about them. They have been focusing on either what's not good about them, or they've been focusing on what's good about other people.
Mm. Mm. So that's kind of how self-love, is that kind of self-loving yourself? And is that how it connects you to your confidence when you start to love yourself and see the good in yourself? Does that also connect you to your confidence?
Absolutely, you're right. Self-love plays a big part. You can say self-love is like the soft cushion to fall on. Because when you have self-love, you're not going to talk bad about yourself. You're not going to criticize yourself, judge yourself, put yourself down, or beat yourself up if you, say, make a mistake or didn't succeed at the first time. You will say, it's okay. I love you. Let's find another way to do this. You are good enough. We can do this. You positive talk to yourself. You encourage yourself. You give yourself an opportunity to be successful. And so, yes, self-love plays a really big part in confidence.
And what is this thing? Because I read something where you talked about dependable love also being a foundation for confidence. How can people start to invite that into their to their life? And can you explain that? Dependable love?
Thank you. You've been a really good student. You've been paying attention in our class.
Yes.
The way I see it is that there are 3 types of love. There's the love from other people. There's the love from yourself to yourself. And then there's the love from God. The love from other people feels really good when we have it, but then it hurts when it goes away. The love from other people is not dependable because it comes and goes. We don't control that. The love from ourselves to ourselves, that's dependable, but we need to cultivate it because many of us were never really taught to love ourselves. Once we cultivate the self-love, then we have control over that and we can love ourselves. We're in control of that. We can love ourselves whenever we want. We can hug ourselves whenever we want. You can put your arms around yourself and hug yourself now and tell yourself, I love you. Nobody can stop you from doing that. And that's always dependable. And we already talked about how important self-love is to you having high confidence. The third love from God or love from the universe. That's a little bit hard for a lot of people, particularly those who, don't have a connection with God or don't believe there's a God. You can believe it in any other way, give God a different name. I called God the Divine Mother. Once you have the connection with God and you believe and you feel and you're connected to that love, God's love is all the time, eternal. Unlike Santa Claus, where you only get a present when you have been a good boy or girl, God loves you all the time, whether you've been good or bad. And when you have God's love and self-love, to me, you're going to be unstoppable. There were times when I felt so alone and dark, and I felt like there's no one I can reach out for help. But because of my self-love and because my belief in the Divine Mother's love, I felt it gave me a boost of energy and a boost of confidence and enough energy for me to keep going on my path, even though I was not feeling good, even though I was alone and lonely. It got me through that. And I know it will do the same for you.
Yes, thank you for sharing that tool with us. I want to get to 100 things that I love about myself. That is my goal at this moment. And that is my goal. You have given me a goal. And so I think you've explained this, but you know how people say be more positive or all of that kind of stuff. It's hard to do when you have that 85% iceberg underneath the water that's pulling you down, right? So is this why working at the sub conscious level, why it's so much more important than just being positive and this, that, and the other? Because if I'm being positive, which I've always have been positive, I still had that 85% in my subconscious that was constantly draining me. It was constantly like, no matter how happy I would go home at night and I would still have this grief and this sadness and this hurt. So, if any of our listeners are dealing with that, are you offering that hypnotherapy is a powerful way to get rid of that?
Yes, it is very important to be conscious about being positive. It helps. Um, it's easier to be positive when you are already feeling good about yourself and positive and the subconscious level. When you are positive in the subconscious level, when you are confident at the subconscious level, it just shows through your energy, shows through your facial expression, shows through your behavior. And people just feel it. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to try. You are just it. It is important to consciously think about being confident and being positive, particularly if you are in the process of working on those. And so those are important. What's more important is to work on your confidence at the subconscious level so that it just comes out naturally for you.
Mm. That's interesting because I had an experience just yesterday. I hung out with a friend. Normally, we would get together, and every time we got together, I would give him my victim stories. And this person did this person said that, this, that, and the other. And I know that I've shifted something, especially since working with you, because I didn't even want to tell those stories.
Yes,
I didn't. It was just
that's
like I started to tell one, and I was like, but whatever, it's not important because it's really not. And that was such a new me experience. And I'm sure he felt it because it was like I'm not vibrating at that place where people did me wrong or hurt me. I'm like, I'm over that at this moment. I'm trying to focus on the beautiful life that I've been given, you know? And so that
yes,
was such a moment that I wanted to share with you, just as a celebration of the work that I've experienced with you.
yes, and that's what a, a lot of clients experience. Often, our clients would come to me and say, "I have anger. Help me to get rid of anger," and we did. We worked on it, and then they will come. They will say, "Is it gone? Really? What if it'll come back?" And then the next session, they come back and they'll say, Prema, I can't find anger anymore. It's just the weirdest thing. I just can't find it. Is it
Wow.
really gone?
Wow.
It's
Wow.
gone. Once you got rid of it from the subconscious mind, it's gone. Unless there's a new anger that's created because something negative happened to you. But what you got rid of out of the subconscious mind, it's gone. So your experience is very normal to those who had a transformation, and you had a transformation. Congratulations. What I'm hearing is that you no longer see yourself as a victim. You no longer behave as a victim. That is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody who knows me knows that that is a powerful thing because I had a degree, a master's, a doctorate in victim. um, and with compassion, because I had to do a lot of trauma work and a lot of healing and this hypnotherapy. So I had to do the work to get rid of it. Like I couldn't just pray it away. I couldn't just wait for it to go away just by reading books. Like I had to do these powerful tools that you're sharing with your Unstoppable Confidence classes. They blend the hypnotherapy, the guided meditation, the past life regressions. Like, all of these tools really, really work if you work them.
Yes.
Powerful, 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 powerful. So, Prema, if you could leave every listener today with one empowering belief or mantra to carry into their lives, what would it be?
I love this one. Here is a mantra that has always worked for me and I still use. I can do it. I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it.
When I'm in the middle of something really challenging and it just feels better and easier to just give up, I would say, I can do this.
I can do it.
I can do it. I can do this. And that gives me a boost of energy to carry me through the obstacle to the success level. And it's also stopped me from quitting. So this is my mantra. When things are really hard and I'm like, I just want to quit, I'll come in and say, no, I can do this. I can do this. And I do, and I did. And I know it will work for you too.
I can do it. We can do it. I can do it. This is so amazing and so wonderful. And so tell us, how does the listener stay connected to you? What do you have going on? What are you offering right now? Can you share it all with us right now? Because, I mean, I'm re-inspired. I have to be honest. Like, I still got some things that I need to polish off that we got to talk about. But can you share your offerings with our listeners?
Yes. So you can reach me through my website called Empowered Mind Wellness. It's www.empowerdmindwellness.com. I know it's long. It's worth it. So when you go in, there's an opportunity to sign up for my email list, and you will get a guided hypnotic meditation that is very relaxing. It's got hypnosis, so you get to experience hypnosis. It's really relaxing, and it also helps you to release stress. So you'll get that. And when you are in my website, if you click events, you will see when I have the next Gain Unstoppable Confidence class. I also have other classes listed there as well. And, I hope that you will be able to come and experience that class for yourself to understand what hypnosis is, to also realize how powerful you can be.
How powerful you can be. I love that you said that. You didn't say how powerful hypnotherapy could be. You said how powerful you can be. And that
Hypno-
is, go for it.
Hypnotherapy is just a tool that helps you to uncover your own power.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, Prema, I want to thank you for being on the Pivotal Point with Dwayne Barnes. I have had other pivotal moments just having this conversation with you. And as I mentioned to you before, if you ever want to come back and share anything with our listeners, you are more than welcome. And listeners, I'm telling you, if you're dealing with something, please reach out to Prema. Please do yourself a favor. It will be well worth it. Thank you so much, Prema.
Thank you, Dwayne. And thank you, beautiful listeners, for having me on the show today. May you all gain unstoppable confidence in all areas of your life.
What a powerful conversation. Prema reminded us today that confidence isn't something you borrow from the world. It's something you reclaim from within yourself. It's not about being perfect. It's about being rooted It's about seeing yourself clearly and standing in that truth no matter what life throws your way. If today's episode spoke to you, I encourage you to check out Prema's Gain Unstoppable Confidence classes. I will have the information in the description. And start the journey to heal what's under the iceberg so that you can connect to the version of yourself that already knows you're more than enough. And as always, if you're ready to break free and step fully into your own courage, authenticity, and leadership, visit authordwaynebarnes.com to learn more about coaching opportunities and resources to support your growth. Thank you for listening to another pivotal conversation. Until next time, keep leading, keep healing, and keep choosing the courage to be free.